Alamo killed Rue Bennett. Not with a gun, not with a threat. With a bottle of pills he handed her, with a smile and a kiss on the head, and the words, Employee of the Year. The Percocet he gave her as payment for everything she risked this season were laced with fentanyl. She took one on Allie's couch while he was asleep. She dreamed about her mother reaching for her, and she never woke up. That is how the most important character in Euphoria dies. Not in a fight, not running, in her sleep, on a couch, listening to her Bible app, reaching out for something she could not quite hold. And the man who did it is still downstairs counting his money when she goes. Let us break down every single thing that happened in the Euphoria series finale. The episode opens right where episode 7 left off. Faye is screaming for Wayne. Rue does not wait. She stabs Wayne in the leg. She punches Faye in the face. She runs through the tunnels with Wayne limping after her with a shotgun. She finds an escape hatch and gets outside. And then, an actual cowboy on horseback lassos her ankles and drags her back toward Laurie's ranch through the dirt. This show really did just go full Western in the final episode. But Rue has G watching out for her. Marshawn Lynch's character snipes the cowboy from about half a mile away. The cowboy loses his grip on the lasso. G yells at Rue to run. She makes it to his truck and they drive away, screaming and celebrating. Both of them high, both of them alive. Feeling, as the show would put it, a certain euphoria. Back in the city, Cassie and Maddie are at the diner, shell-shocked after finding Nate's body in that coffin. Cassie is eating French toast. Maddie is barely present. She looks at Cassie and says, "What do I do?" And Cassie gets up, comes around to Maddie's side of the booth, and sits beside her. We will figure it out together. After 3 seasons of betrayal and competition, and Nate sitting between them, the thing that brings these two back together is grief. Without Nate, there is nothing between them anymore. Meanwhile, Rue and G bring the contents of Laurie's safe back to Alamo. He is proud of her. He tells her they are meant to be. He pours them both a Coke from a glass bottle, the good kind. He pulls out a bottle of Percocet and says he takes them for his back. Rue looks at the pills and says, "I used to love these," and she takes one. Alamo gives her a week off, a stack of money, a full bottle of pills. Everything a girl who just risked her life could want. And the show does not play ominous music here, which is the most ominous thing it could possibly do. Now, let us talk about the DEA raid on Laurie's, because what happens there tells you everything about who actually won this season. The fentanyl ambulance crosses the border from Mexico with the girls used as cover. Everything goes smoothly. But while Big Eddie and the others were south of the border, Bishop, Alamo's second in command, quietly switched the ambulances. When the DEA arrives in force at Laurie's ranch with helicopters and a full convoy, closing in like 5 stars on Grand Theft Auto, they find everything in chaos. Wayne took dummy pills thinking they were real, figured out the whole thing was a setup, and he and Faye escaped on horseback before the raid even began. Big Eddie gets arrested. The guy G shot earlier surrenders, and Laurie goes to the roof, puts a noose around her neck, and jumps. She kills herself before they can take her. When the DEA opens the secret panel in the ambulance expecting fentanyl, they find a dead rat. Bishop moved everything. Alamo has all the drugs. Laurie is gone. The DEA got nothing. And Alamo is at his club saying, pork chops and everything else is on him tonight. The operation Rue risked her life to help destroy survived completely. Every single thing she did this season meant nothing for the mission. The DEA got a dead rat and a dead woman on a roof. Hey, real quick, if you have been watching Euphoria every week, please hit that subscribe button right now. The channel is growing, and we have a lot more content coming. Now, back to the finale. Here is where the episode becomes something different. Rue is at Allie's apartment watching TV when a news report comes on. An inmate escaped from a correctional facility using parkour. It was Fez. He actually did it. The plan Rue told him about at the beginning of the season worked. Rue immediately jumps up to go find him. Allie tells her she is crazy. She does not care. Fez is her person, rain or shine. She drives to the store Fez used to work at, and what follows is one of the most carefully constructed sequences of the entire season. We get a shot of Fez and Rue together in a field, smoking. It is heartbreaking and slightly dreamlike. Fez is not at the store. Rue drives around trying to find him. She starts seeing things. She drives past herself as a child, alongside her mother and her sister. The whole world is starting to have an unreality to it. She runs into a police blockade near her house. She ducks under the tape and runs. She hops rooftops to escape the cops. She climbs through her bedroom window. She moves through the empty house, touching the plants, stroking the dirt. She turns the corner and sees her mother Leslie sitting at the dining room table, reading the Bible, crying and smiling at the same time. Leslie reaches out her hand. Rue reaches back. None of it is real. Rue is still on Allie's couch. She never left. She is lying there listening to her Bible app, gasping for air, reaching for her mother while the fentanyl shuts everything down. Her final conscious experience is the thing she wanted most. Her family, her home, the feeling of being held by people who loved her before the drugs defined everything. Allie wakes up, walks to the living room, and he knows before he even gets to her. He says her name. He touches her head. He says, "Give her peace, God." He tests the Percocet with a home kit, and the result is fentanyl. Alamo knew RUE was working for the DEA. The pills were never a reward. They were his revenge. He eliminated the informant the same way he does everything else. Quietly, with a smile, and plausible deniability. Allie writes her name in his Book of the Dead. RUE Bennett, November 2024. He calls her mother. Now, let us talk about what Allie does with that grief. Because his ending is the one that nobody is going to stop talking about. Months later, Allie goes to a 12-step meeting and talks about the disease of addiction. He says he used to believe empathy was the key, that if you could empathize with an addict, you could empathize with a dealer. He has changed his mind. He says the real disease is people no longer knowing the difference between right and wrong. He calls out fentanyl dealers directly. He looks around the room at people connected to the supply chain. He is not giving a speech. He is cataloging. He tells the group he is tired. He is done. This will be his last meeting. He is going to find a better way to be of service. The next scene shows him dressed in his military uniform, bike locking the front door of Alamo's club, the Silver Slipper, walking inside armed to the teeth. He moves through the club like a man who has made his peace with whatever comes next. He sits at a table and waits for his moment. When a stripper tells G that a man is asking for Alamo, Allie pulls out his pill bottle and asks about RUE. G says she overdosed on fentanyl, but he says he does not know how, until he sees the bottle. G goes for his gun, and Allie shoots him backwards. Another man comes in, and Allie shoots him too. He calls for Alamo Brown. And then comes the most darkly brilliant moment of the finale. Alamo has been watching from behind a two-way mirror the whole time. He knocks Allie down. He briefly grabs Maddie as a hostage. He counts Allie's remaining shots. He proposes settling it the old-fashioned way. He has Kitty roll a champagne bottle down the bar. When it shatters, they both draw. Whoever fires first wins. Alamo cheats. He draws early, and his gun is empty. Bishop cleaned out his gun before giving it to him. Bishop, who knew what Alamo did to RUE, made his choice when it mattered. Allie fires twice, then once more, just to be sure. Scream rules. Alamo is dead on the floor of his own club. Bishop drops the bullets he removed from the gun onto the blood. May God have mercy, he says. Then he picks up his dog Snowflake and walks out. Allie did it. He killed the man who killed RUE. And he walks out of that club into whatever comes next. Let us quickly go through where everyone else ends up. Jules sits alone in front of a blank canvas. Eventually, she begins painting. She paints RUE all in yellow. She is crying. She is also smiling. Ellis brings her coffee. This is the last we see of Jules. Still in that apartment, still processing. Cassie is turning her and Nate's house into an influencer and OnlyFans operation. With Lexi as the storyteller, she has been trying to recruit all episode. Nobody in that house knows Nate is dead. Cassie has his wedding photo on the shelf and a ring light that surrounds her head like a halo as she cries alone in her room. The camera slowly pulls away from her. She is completely alone in what the show deliberately frames as a dollhouse. This is the last we see of Cassie. Lexi has found RUE's Bible on the couch. She moved it to the shelf after a month and then read it. She tells Cassie it helped her realize certain things are not her fault, specifically RUE dying. She declines Cassie's offer to join the influencer house. She leaves, and that is her ending. Let me know in the comments whether that ending gave you what you needed or whether RUE deserved more. And if you are not subscribed yet, please hit that button right now. Thank you for watching.